Okay. How does this Ice Booster 3? Currently, it is January the 25th, 2026. Okay, so I wasn't going to make a video today, but it's up. Apparently, there's going to be a winter storm. It's going to hit throughout the United States or whatever. So I said, I'm not going to be freezing my behind off inside of here uh, for these 10 days or whatever. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and make a video now. So yesterday was January the 24th, 2026. I did say that on that day, Bill Clinton, he was going to have a progressed aspect to either his Pluto or his nodes. Let me pause a second just to make sure I get the correct lore. Okay, so yeah, for Bill Clinton on January 24th, 2026, his progressed moon made a trine to his progressed Pluto. Let me get the date, the last date this has happened inside of his chart. Let me pause another second. Let me unpause for a second. On the 24th of January 2026, pretty much there's a man, his last name is Pretty, Alex Pretty. He was killed by an either I think the National Guard or an ICE agent. And I think that happened inside of Minneapolis. And so maybe that may have something to do with Bill Clinton and this whole situation with Epstein. I think as part of the Clintons' excuse inside of the letter they wrote to Congress or whatever, they said that pretty much this is political theater or whatever, and the ICE agents inside of these states or whatever, they're like a part of tyranny or whatever. I'm like, anyway, they had so many excuses, but that was one of them. And so for this man to have got killed by an ICE agent, it may add to some kind of maybe emotional pull or maybe a judge's decision in regards to what's gonna go down with the Clintons. So let me pause for a second. Okay, so the last time for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon made a trine to his progressed Pluto, it was August 10th, 1998. And see, 7 days later, on August 17th, 1998, for Bill Clinton, he admitted to having an affair with Monica Lewinsky. And I think so this progression is hit on the 24th of January. And so there is a they plan on the Congress plans on holding Bill and Hillary Clinton in contempt, and that's within like 2 weeks. And so let me pause a second. So that announcement was made on January 21st, 2026. So two weeks from January 21st, I believe will be February 4th, 2026. So again, 7 days after Bill Clinton, all the way back during 1998, this progression hit. 7 days passed, and he admitted that he had relations with Monica Lewinsky. So we'll see what comes up with this progression this year. Let me pause in a second. Again, today is January the 25th, 2026. I also said that for Adam Schiff, he would get lucky around this time because his progress won't make an aspect to his Jupiter. It'll make a sextile to his Jupiter. And every time a prominent Democrat has a good aspect, it's like it's something bad for Donald Trump. And also on February, well, let me go back on January 30th for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon will conjoin, well, not progressed, transit Saturn inside of the sky will conjoin Hillary Clinton's natal moon, and that coincides with a major emotional depressive event. Now I think 2 days later, on February 1st, 2026, for Donald Trump, his progressed moon will conjoin his IC and oppose his midheaven, and that apparently deals with lawsuits to his company that for some major reason. I think one time there was a major racial discrimination lawsuit, and the other time it was a harsh working conditions. But okay, so I want to talk about February though. The month of February. That was February 1st for Donald Trump. Now all the way. Well, let me get the lore first. Let me pause. Let me go back a little bit. Now I did say for January 26th, 2026 for Adam Schiff, his progress moon will make a sextile to his Jupiter, natal or progress. That's one thing. That means that the Democrats, they will get lucky. But weirdly enough, on the same day of January 26, 2026, transiting Neptune inside of the sky is going to change signs and enter Aries for the final time. So this may be a big event just for the world in general. Like it's like a major shift in things. So looking into the month of February. On February 12th, 2026, with Bill Clinton, his progress will make a quincunx to his progress sun, and that means he may get an ego boost. But I'll just say like an event may pop up for him, because I forgot to say that pretty much on February 11th, 2026, Pam Bundy, the Attorney General, she's either she's subpoenaed to go in front of Congress on September 11th. I mean, not September, February 11th, 2026. And so some stuff might go down with her in these Epstein files or whatever. And another thing is that Ghislaine Maxwell, I think she's set to testify. I think through a court hearing or something like that, or through Congress. I think it's a court hearing or something like that. Let me pause a second, get some water. Okay, so again, I'm gonna say that pretty much Ghislaine Maxwell, I think she's gonna testify either in court or to Congress on February 9th, 2026. And then I think 2 days, 3 days later, no, 2 days later, pretty much Pam Bundy, she's to testify in front of Congress on the 11th of February. I don't know why I keep on saying September 11th. Anyway, and so on February 12th, 2026, with Bill Clinton, his progress moon will quincunx his progress sun, and that may be an ego boost for him, or it just might mean that a big event will come up for Bill Clinton. However, I've already said that on the 14th of January, 2026, Donald Trump, his progress moon made an aspect to Saturn. And so for this period of time, like this a month or maybe two, depressing events can happen in regards to Donald Trump, especially when his progress moon is going to also conjoin his IC and oppose his midheaven. And each of those times, it should have been like a bad event for Donald Trump. In regards to Donald Trump's progress moon making an aspect to Saturn, which was the 14th of January, and it was also the same day that Bill and Hillary Clinton did not show up to their depositions. But also for Donald Trump, as his progress moon conjoined his IC or opposed his midheaven. Now this happened all the way back in 1998, and that's when his company was sued for, I think, harsh working environment conditions or whatever. And then I think it also this same progression hit again all the way back, I think, in 1973, and that's when the Trump management company was sued. It was a civil rights lawsuit or whatever. It was a racial discrimination lawsuit or whatever. So these progressions they coincide with bad events for Donald Trump. That's what I'm saying. And so just for you just to look at further in the future in regards to the month of February. Now on February the 13th, transit Saturn will enter the sign of Aries, and so that could be a major shift inside of the collective. So you finally have transiting Saturn inside of the same sign as transiting Neptune. It's taking these planets a very, very long time to enter these signs. Anyway, so moving on. February 17th, 2026, at 6:01 a.m., there will be a new moon eclipse, and it's exactly opposite Donald Trump's ascendant, but it's also, I believe, opposite Bill Clinton's natal sun as well. So something I said in like my previous videos that a prominent Democratic figure could get assassinated, but it's up. It might just mean that Bill Clinton, something huge goes down with Bill Clinton within, I believe, like 15 days of February 17th, 2026. Now on this is like when a whole bunch of stuff just starts to go down after this eclipse. So and again, the eclipse is on February 17th, 2026. Now on February 20th, 2026, transit Saturn will conjoin transit Neptune inside of the sky. That could coincide with a huge event. Let me see here. Now, later, Hillary Clinton, she has the same astrology that she had back in 1998, right before the impeachment of Bill Clinton. I know I keep on going back and saying that it could be this date, it could be this date, but these this astrology does not end in regards to Bill Clinton until July the 20th, 2026. And then even after that, there's another huge event where for Bill Clinton on August the 9th, 2026, where his progressed moon will it'll make a 1/12 aspect to his progressed and natal Uranus, which conjoined on, I believe, October the 11th, 2025. And around this time, I think that Donald Trump, he was snubbed in regards to getting the Nobel Peace Prize. But more so importantly, Hillary Clinton, I think she didn't go to her deposition. Well, no, they wrote a letter and they skipped out on a deposition, I believe, on October the 9th, 2025. And I think Bill Clinton was subpoenaed to testify on October 14th, 2025. And the progression of Bill Clinton's progression Uranus conjoining his natal Uranus happened on October 11th, 2025. And so for Bill Clinton's progressed moon to make a 1/12 aspect to that conjunction or whatever, something shocking could go down. Huge and shocking could go down in regards to Bill Clinton. And let me not forget to add that Bill Clinton's progressed Uranus, it began to retrograde all the way back on, I believe, December the 5th, 1985. And understand there's a black man who claims to be Bill Clinton's biological son. His name is Danny Williams Clinton. Danny Williams Clinton. Basically, Danny Williams Clinton was born on December the 7th, 1985. This is 2 days after Bill Clinton's progressed Uranus began to retrograde. So that kind of, not only that was shown inside of Bill Clinton's chart. Let me pause a second to get the other lore. Okay, so the rest of the lore. So on November 10th, 1985, for Bill Clinton, his progressed Saturn made a sextile to his natal Mars. And that means that there should have been some kind of huge, depressive, angering event. But also, a day later, on November the 11th, 1985, for Bill Clinton, his progressed Mars made a square to his natal Saturn. Again, that's furious, depressing, emotional news or an event, because Saturn crystallizes and manifests things or whatever. And so, and then also on December the 5th, 1985, for Bill Clinton's progressed Uranus began to retrograde. And so, then on December 7th, 1985, that was the birth of Danny Williams Clinton. And so, what adds to it is that pretty much for Bill Clinton, his progressed Mars is inside of the sign of Scorpio, which is sexual secrets. And for Bill Clinton, his Saturn, or his progressed Saturn, is inside of the sign of Leo, and it means pride, kingship. And so there could have been an emotional, furious event that happened, a depressive, emotional, furious event that happened around this time, major. That's why I say, let me pause for a second. Okay, but so that's why I say that pretty much for Bill Clinton, for his progressed Uranus to finally, his progressed retrograde Uranus to finally retrograde back and conjoin his natal Uranus after 41 years, it could be the Danny Williams Clinton's secret that gets exposed. So let me get back to the month of February. Because I think I pivoted from I was talking about the end of this this Epstein situation with Bill Clinton. So let me get my notes real quick. Let me pause another second. Okay, what I was trying to say was that let me state that I tried to warn Hillary Clinton about this astrology all the way back, I believe, on May the 15th, 2025. So I sent her a tweet. And I said that pretty much be careful on the day of July the 30th, 2025, because that you'll be having the same astrology as the Monica Lewinsky scandal. And so that progression was for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon made an aspect to her Mars, I believe. It was her progressed moon quincunx her progressed Mars. And again, it happened on July 30th, 2025. But I tried to warn Hillary Clinton on, I believe, May the 15th, 2025. But so in the month of February, on February 23rd, 2026, for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon will oppose her natal Mars. And so the last time this happened was on November 14th, 1998, and that was 35 days before Bill Clinton's impeachment proceedings. Now, the date that I gave of July the 30th, 2025, it lined up with Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon making a quincunx to her progressed Mars. And see, what happened around that date was on January 19th, 1998, Well, no, the interview happened on January 27th, 1998, but the astrology happened on January 19th, 1998. And this is Jesus. Hillary Clinton, she had an interview on I think Matt Lauer on the news on the news. And so pretty much this is one day after Bill Clinton, he claimed that he did not have sexual relations with that woman, which happened on January the 26th, 1998. Weirdly enough though, Resident Evil 2 was released on January 26th, 1998. Resident Evil 1, I think. Or something like that. No, Resident Evil 2. So let's see. Let me pause for a second. All in all, our point was that something huge could go down on February 23rd, 2026, or even February 24th, 2026, because Hillary Clinton on the next day, her progressed moon will oppose her progressed Pluto. And this also, the last time this happened was on November 30th, 1998, and it was 20 days before Bill Clinton's impeachment hearings. So, yeah. Let's see here. On February 26th, 2026, Transit Mercury was stationed. And I've already said that every time Transit Mercury it retrogrades and hits transiting Mars, it's like a major event in regards to the Epstein situation. And that's not going to happen again until I believe April 20th, 2026, where Transit Mercury conjoins Transit Mars. But let's see here. And that's all I have for this. So I'm gonna call it quits. That's pretty much it for the month of February. It's gonna be a huge month, and Hillary Clinton is probably going to go through the same situation that she went through during the Bill Clinton impeachment situation. So let me end it right here. I was trying to do a short video, and that's it for the month of February.